to focus a little bit more on talking to creators, I am all ears, which, let me tell you something, makes for a truly bizarre physiognomy. I can tell you that straight up. Odd Scimitar, hello. Rabbit Wrangler, good to see you. Yeah, we're rocking a little early today. Kyle slid me a note out of his containment unit there. I've got to stop giving him pencil and paper. It's uncanny, the almost human-like ability he has to communicate. Anyway, Kyle asked, could you, we're going to roll this time. And I was like, sure. So here we are. Author Alyssa Hazel, how are you, dear? It is good to see you. Kabuki Kid, the president of the Internet of the Warning fan club, checking in. Good to see you. I have to say, big ups to Alyssa out there flying the team flag for the artwork of Frank Frazetta. That was most excellent of you. Thank you, Alyssa. So good to see you all. Yes, I said it. But anyway, so yeah, folks are filing in. Kyle's over there in the green room right now. He's reading one of the magazines we've got in there, enjoying some of the spread that Craft Services has put out. I try to take care of my staff and my guests. What can I tell you? But anyway, so he'll be coming in just a second, just to catch you guys up on what we're doing. Tomorrow night is a bit of a question mark. It is an enigma. It is a mystery. You'll just have to tune in and find out what we're going to do. Actually, I will probably let it be known tomorrow whether we're doing a guest or whether we're going to be looking at a module. Because you know what? We have plumbed the depths of the classic D&D modules, have we not? We've talked about B2, we've talked about the A series, the G series, the T series, just on and on. We've talked about, but there's so many more. There's so many more. How many of you guys have ever taken a close look at C3? Huh? How many? Darn few of you, I'd wager. Or EX1, EX2. Gary's Whimsical Adventures, or the U series, or the UK series. We have lots of stuff we can take a look at, and I'm looking forward to doing that with you guys. So tune in tomorrow, Friday night, which is the day after tomorrow, assuming I survive Friday during the day. Just busy. Don't worry about it. I'll live. Friday night, we are going to be playing some classic Gamma World. That's right. Further Adventures of Mutation, Radiation, and all other Asians in a Shattered Nation. So we'll be doing that, and I'm looking forward to it. But not UK 1. Kabuki says she loves UK 2 and 3, but not UK 1. That's fine. That's your choice. That is completely cromulent. But anyhow, Odd Scimitar, good to see you. Did I not say hello when you came in a few minutes ago? Hello, Odd Scimitar. Sorry, had to get a drink of water there. So we're waiting. We're waiting on our players to join us. They will be filing into the green room shortly. We have got a good group of players who will be playing some D&D with us tonight. And if you don't know what kind of D&D, it's a hex crawl, but that's all I'm going to give away, because Kyle explains it so much better than I do. But it is just a little bit of a give there. It's a hex crawl. We're waiting on Lord Coron and Sapphire to join. That's Kanek, by the way, if you know Kanek from live chat. So when Kanek and Lord Coron get in here, we'll be rocking and rolling. But before then, or until then, I should say, I have binaural issues. What can I tell you? Everybody, please, I want you to stand and rise for our channel anthem and salute the one and only the thunder from down under, my co-host and your dungeon master of ceremonies for tonight. Everybody put it together for the intelligent, handsome, and gifted Mr. Viking Hat DM Kyle.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, boys and girls. I would normally echo what Bill said, but he said something earlier before, like if you have any comments on the show, you want something to change or whatever, he would respond to them. No, I'm not going to change anything. It's like my kids in their lunch boxes for school. You get what you get and you don't get upset. That's just the way it is.
All right, so Kyle brings big dad energy to the show.
But you should get the merchandising like I did. The Dungeon Delver mug.
That's right. That's right, Kyle. We have pint
with which
glasses.
You can have your soft drinks.
Yes,
drinks,
yes.
Depending on
your soft drinks. Your soft drinks. Yes. So Kyle, bringing the big dad energy, but also yes, we have merch. If you would, we have hoodies, we have t-shirts, we have mugs, we have stickers, we have small posterlet things. The link is down in the description below. That logo designed by the one and only Tracy Lesh, legendary Dungeons and Dragons artist Tracy Lesh, cooked that together, and it is absolutely, you got to raise it
and
up a little
the
bit.
whole can of drink fit nicely into the glass, so it's a perfect size. You know, many glasses like you have to fill it up with the can or whatever 3 or 4 times. You know, they're either too small and you have to keep refilling it, or they're too large and then this can looks rather sad. The drink looks rather sad because it's only half full. But this, it perfectly fit, the whole can.
The perfect pint, guys, honestly. And I mean, you can't, you really can't do better. So check the link out, grab yourself some Dungeon Delver merch, and be one of those people that, like, when you're walking down the street wearing your Dungeon Delver hoodie or t-shirt, or, you know, you apply that sticker to your computer case, or your wife says, "Hon, we've got company, bring out the good glasses," and you bring out a set of Dungeon Delver pint glasses. They'll know.
Well, you have to dress right in public so people know where to find the gamers. It's like
exactly.
Once when I was in Adelaide for the first time, and this was in the 90s, so it was before, you know, you could just look things up on your mobile phone and stuff. I wanted to know, where's the game store? And I thought, how the hell am I going to find a game store in this strange city? And I thought of what we did in the army, in the bush, to look for water. You look for the bush pigeons, right? Because the pigeons will always fly to where water is. So I thought, I've got to find a gamer, and then I'll just find where the gamer's going. I thought, well, where do you commonly get gamers? Outside the university. So I stood outside the university and I waited. And this guy walked past with long, greasy hair tied back in a ponytail, wearing a World War II greatcoat. And I went, that's a gamer. So I followed him, and he went to a comic book store. It wasn't a game store, but it was a comic book store. So then I went to the comic book store, and I just asked them where the game store was, because, like, comic book stores know where game stores are and vice versa. And then they told me, and I went to it. And I was able to find a game group there. So just by... So if you wear a T-shirt, like, that's got something like this on it, people will know what kind of person you are, and they can avoid you or follow you as necessary to find gaming.
Indeed, that is a fine reason to get yourself some Delver's Dungeon merch, because we've got that. I am doing great, Wheeling Dragon. Thank you for asking. Somebody 33K7, quick question. I think both you and I can field this, Kyle, before we get rolling here, because we're still waiting on one player. 33K7 is got a question about the village of Hamlet. How do you typically start your adventure off there. Now, the way the module is introduced, and I know, Kyle, you haven't played a lot of modules, but I think the answer to this question is universal, and it doesn't just apply to the village of Hamlet. In fact, I think it can well apply to the village you have us in here, but I will answer your question there, 33K7. That is basically it. Gary kind of railroads you a little bit, and he says, "Hey, you've heard there's recent troubles have disturbed the peaceful town, the peaceful village of Hamlet." And so you go there, and Gary describes it as you arrive on a rise in the road, looking down at the town spreading before you, the copse of trees that represents perhaps a druid grove, the spike of a nearby temple, the low roofs of the houses of hardworking people, and in the distance, the peaked cap of the storied Inn of the Welcome Wench. It basically just kind of picks you up gently, lovingly even, and sets you down on the road outside of town and says, this is where you begin. If you want to do something a little bit more elaborate as a game master and say, there's a trade caravan going through and they stop at the famous Inn of the Welcome Wench, when you hear rumors of trouble, you can go that route. But Kyle, how do you explain how you do it?
Yeah, pretty much the same. I mean, that's how I started this campaign. You just start in the village or approaching the village. You've come to this village because you have heard tales that there are going to be adventures there, whatever. I mean, and you know, even just the approach to the village is just a chance for the players to talk to each other and get to know each other. Either because either the players don't know each other as players, and they can chat a bit, or their characters at least don't know each other, and then they can introduce their characters. And then they're all introduced, and they walk in the front gate of the village and then go around annoying people. So, I mean, you've sort of got to start it like that. It's, you know, here's the adventure. You've started on the adventure, and then how you go with the adventure is up to you. How you go on with that. It's, as you said, it's a little bit railroady, but it's less railroady and more sort of starting them at the bus station. You're at the bus station and you've got a ticket to Atlanta.
Yeah.
You can choose not to take the bus to Atlanta, but you're at the bus station. It's going to, you know, so you're going to go somewhere. Where are you going to go?
Yeah. And I will be 100% honest. That method is a lot less railroady than a great many other things. I mean, you know, you play certain modules involving mounted fighting weapons and great flying lizards. I'm not going to get any more specific than that. And you are absolutely locked on an immobile railroad. So that's how I do it. That's how Kyle does it. And you can apply that philosophy straight to Village of Hamlet. And I think you're going to have a great time with it.
Yeah. So as I said, I think that's a good analogy. Like rather than a railroad, it's a bus depot.
Yeah.
And you've got a ticket to a particular destination, but in the end, it's up to you whether or not you get on the bus. You can get on another bus, or you can walk around and exploring town instead. But you start at a bus depot, and you start together. You start the party together, because what else are you going to do? You're going to run a little adventure where the magic user, you know, he completes his apprenticeship and leaves the magic user lord, and the fighter, she's had enough of being part of the militia of this other town, and she leaves to seek adventure. Or, you know, you'd have to have half a dozen different starts with a half a dozen different players before you know, then struggle to bring them together somehow. So much simpler, just you start together. You meet at an inn and you decide to adventure together.
Yeah. Always good standards. I guess the thing that I would say, 33K7, is don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Is do not overthink it. So
yeah, I mean, players don't care that much. It, you know, in the end, whatever gets them gaming, it doesn't. Yeah, there was a great quote that I posted in Discord where somebody was talking about how they're watching Sharknado 7 or something, and you know the protagonists are having to ride a pterodactyl to travel through time so they can go back in time and pick up this thing. And it's like so they can then go into the Sharknado, which has now got dragons in it, and it just said, you know, if you ever feel that you're maybe not that good a writer, just remember that this movie exists, that this was funded and people starred in it and produced it, and you know, I'm here watching it and having a laugh. So just remember, players aren't that fussy. Don't stress over it. Just get into it. Most people are just happy that you're running a game, and they're not having to run the game to make it happen.
Exactly so. Exactly so. Well, it looks like everybody, we're missing Lord Coron. Hopefully he will be bopping in here with us soon. But everybody else is jostling around in the green room. Kyle,
and
your aircraft.
And incidentally, what I do for gaming, I also do in my professional life. I run a gym, and I don't do personal training of one-on-one. I just have small groups in there, and they just hang around and talk shit and take longer to do their workouts than they need to. And it evidently works for them, because the other day I got a surprise 10th anniversary party for the gym with like all these people, and all these people rocked up. Current and former gym members came along and said hello and brought large amounts of food and drink and everything. And it's like, oh, and they're like, oh, you know, you're great. You've built this community and that. And all I do is just like, I just bring the people together and then give them a common activity. It's like when I ran the Geek-togethers and people, oh, when are you going to do it again? And literally all I did was send out an email. And when I got a certain number of responses, I then contacted the hosting place, this pub, and said, can we book out this little corner of the pub for a dozen people, whatever, on the night? And that's all I did. I effectively just wrote and then I wrote an email afterwards saying, thanks everyone for coming, and I made fun of them a bit. So I wrote 3 emails. That's all I did. And, you know, I was considered this great organizer and bringer together of people and all the rest. And I don't make terribly much more effort with the gym, and I'm considered this great organizer and bringer together of people. And I don't make much more effort. I probably make more effort in D&D because I actually, you know, come up with material. Even if I roll it up, I still come up with it. And, you know, people are like, oh, wow, you know, so all you need to do is just like bring people together and come up with a common activity, and then people sort it out themselves. They just talk amongst themselves and talk nonsense and have a laugh and maybe even get something productive done. So yeah,
Indeed.
But yeah, let's bring some of the players in.
Alrighty. Okay, well, let's
bring in Vinny first, because the poor guy had his character die last time, and he's got a new character to introduce to us.
Okay. And he just left. He must have been having technical issues. I literally clicked add to stage and he left. I promise I did. There's no other icon for me to click than add to stage. I did not throw Vinny off the show. So hopefully he'll be back here in a second.
All right, sure enough. Bring in TV flowers.
Okay. There we go.
Did y'all see that guy? He looked just like Finn. He was here a moment ago. Hi, guys.
Hello.
I'm excited to be back. Missed you all.
I'm glad you're back.
All right, tell us about your character, man.
I have a level 1 magic user who tries to avoid combat, but he's relatively strong, just can't hit anything. Couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. So stands back, tries to be intelligent, and throws rocks. Occasionally a voice.
I like that. Couldn't hit water if he fell off a boat. That's like the Douglas Adams things. The trick to flying is to throw yourself at the ground and miss.
Throw yourself at the ground and miss. Absolutely. Which that's actually how free fall works. You are literally falling towards the earth. You're just going so fast you run out of earth and continue to fall towards it.
You mean in orbit?
Yeah,
in orbit.
Yeah.
You said free fall, and I was.
Did I say
picturing
I meant
the
orbit?
sky-
Feather fall.
Orbit.
I was picturing the skydiver because they do eventually run out of sky.
They do run out of sky very, very quickly.
Suddenly.
All right, Vinny, don't drop out on us.
There we go.
Hey, Vinny.
Hey, sorry, I had technical difficulties.
Tell us
Well,
about your
welcome
new
back.
guy.
So, my new guy is the son of my dead guy. So, this would be Aiden Finnegan. Vinny was quite short. Aiden is quite the opposite. He is 6'8" and 235 pounds of blue-eyed soul, to quote the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. He has a strength of 9 and 1 hit point, so he's the inverse of every characteristic you could possibly have for a character, which is going to make him interesting to play. Although he will try to hide behind everybody, his 6'8", 235 pound stature is going to make that extremely difficult.
That's actually reasonably lanky, but like basketball player lanky.
It's what if Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had like 4 health.
With all respect,
yeah,
Kareem is like in his mid 70s now. I think his health might not be great, but I'm not casting aspersions.
I bet his health is far better than Aiden Finnegan.
I bet his health is far better than mine, for that matter.
Yeah, son of a current character, Alyssa, is a very common thing in gaming. Let's be honest. Let's just hope Vinny doesn't end up like the Nacho family. I once played in a recon campaign, and there was a player, Baden, who was distinguished by how many characters he got killed. Because the DM had a rule that so recon, it was set in the war in Vietnam and your long range reconnaissance patrol and all the rest. And the DM had a very simple rule that if you can see the enemy and shoot at them, then they can see you and shoot at you. So what would tend to happen is that we'd be patrolling along through a rice paddy, and a platoon of Viet Cong would pop up from behind one of the berms and start shooting at us. And then we'd all drop down behind a berm, and then the fire would be rather desultory after that. And Baden would have his character get up and charge at the enemy, firing from the hip. So 30 Viet Cong would have nobody else to shoot at, but one Baden character charging at them. So someone would hit him. Baden once went through 17 characters in one game session. To my knowledge, that's a record of any system or game anywhere. 17 characters in one session, and they were always Mexican grenadiers. They're all members of the Nacho family. He had avocado nacho and cheese nacho. So maybe the Finnegan family is going to be a bit the same, if we're lucky, or if Vinny's unlucky.
Could end up like the family from Yellowstone.
I haven't seen that. What happens there?
Oh, a lot of tragic death.
Oh, okay.
Quite a lot of killing, quite a lot of dying.
So
Yep.
they just bring new actors in, and it turns out they've got an extended.
It's not
time.
as bad as Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones was pretty much like D&D.
Yeah.
We
Who
had-
is going to die this episode?
I have called it Game of Thrones set in the Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
Oh, right. We had this. That can happen everywhere, though. We had this telly show, a soap opera called McLeod's Daughters, and it was about like there was this old farmer, and he had these daughters, and the old farmer died off, and the daughters inherited the farm, and a lot of them were city girls, so they had to try to sort out how to run the farm, blah blah blah. It was a full-on soap opera. There were always these strapping young farm lads that fell in love with the women 10 years older than them and all that sort of stuff. Full-on soap opera. But the thing is, the show went on for so long that some of the actresses moved on. So it always turned out that McLeod had some other daughter from somewhere else, from another woman, that just show up on the farm and be a half sister or a stepsister or an adopted sister or something. So they ended up with a totally different cast. It's like the ship of Theseus, but for McLeod's daughters. Adventuring parties are often like that. All right, let's bring in Shandara.
Hello,
Connect.
everyone.
Yay!
Yay. So I am the cleric of the party. It's my job to try to keep everybody alive, but it's sometimes a challenge. So I'm only level 1. I can't bring people back. I can only heal them if they're still semi-warm.
Yeah. So you guys, all right, where you're, let's see where you're at. Okay. So in the first session, you slew 9 bugbears. In the second session, 6 wolves. In the third session, 4 ghouls. This is now the 4th session. Oh, hang on, no, sorry. This is now the 5th session. My mistake. In the 4th session, you didn't slay anyone, but you went back to the ruins where you'd slain the ghouls and you poked around and you found traps and treasure. And one of the traps ultimately killed Vinny's thief. But you got treasure. You got a longsword +1, scale mail +1, 2,400 silver, some 50 and 100 GP gems, and some sort of robe that you have yet to identify and stuff. Oh, sorry, actually scale +2. Bob the fighter has taken the scale +2 and the longsword +1.
Yeah.
He is 7 experience points away from leveling up, and everyone else is at least 1,000 experience points from leveling up.
Somebody find me a rat to punch to death.
I mean, maybe like there was talk when Vinny's character was on death's door that maybe Bob could finish him off anyway and get some XP.
Either
Okay.
that or just start killing grass. You'll eventually get a couple rodents in there.
But I mean, he doesn't have the money to level up anyway, so. Yeah, okay. So Vinny's new character shows up, asking after his old pa. What do you say to him?
He touched some poison coins and went like this. Ah! There wasn't nothing we could do for him. I'm real sorry.
Yeah, I'm afraid he would get himself into really bad sticky situations. That was my fear. I was looking for him for 6 months, hadn't heard from him. I'm not surprised he died.
It was in a hole in the ground over yonder.
Perfect. I'll go pay my respects. And he walks over to the hole and does his
Well, it's
prayer.
not a hole. It's
Actually, we've got
it's
you in
an
a
urn.
jar in the temple,
Yeah.
in the cemetery.
Oh,
Here, I'll
Yeah,
show you.
Okay.
It's actually it's an urn.
So he gives his respects, and he's not surprised because his family kind of goes out on a limb. They're thieves. So they are risk takers. So when it comes to death, it's not something that is too alarming for the Finnegans. They have a lineage of a long line of deaths.
They live long enough to reproduce, and they. All right. So this is
the goal is to see who can live longer.
So this is the village of Zoc, which is on a slight hill. It's got that palisade around it. The part they're talking about when you visit is the urn house. So there's a little clearing in the woods just outside there, and that's where they have cremations, open air cremations of people. And then afterwards they take most of the ashes and chuck it in the forest. But they take some of the ashes and they put them in an urn, and there's it's just a hall full of these urns. It doesn't even have proper walls. It's just like 6 pillars and a roof, and these urns in it. And people go and pay their respects there when they do that. In the village itself, you may recall, in the center of the village is the Temple of Frigga, and that's also where they have the market once every couple of weeks. It doesn't even have a weekly market; it's too small. And then there's the village hall, where there's the guy who hopes, when this area is clear, hopes to be the Shire Reeve and administer the laws and collect the taxes and stuff. But at the moment, he's just the advocate for Count Pfaff of Pfaffenberg, who has sent you on this folly. And then you've got other sundry services: furrier, carpenter, shoemaker, smith, and so on, around in the village. Oh, Alyssa wishes to join us. That's good.
Yes.
Real D&D, you say? Has she been plagued with some other version?
Just she's not unfamiliar with D&D. We'll D&D up. No problem. And yes,
Okay, no, I just thought she might have been suffering from one of the fraudulent versions. You know.
Well, that's what we'll set about to remedy. Alyssa, as soon as you're feeling better, just go ahead and shoot me an email. The address, any correspondence anyone wants to send, by the way, fan mail, threats, what have you. There is the right there. It says PayPal, but that is just the email I use for PayPal. But that is also the email, bsylvie@gmail.com. Just you will not be charged for sending me an email, is what I'm trying to tell you.
You should be. Well, you should be charged if you want a response.
Emailing me is free. Getting a response back, that's another matter altogether.
All right, yeah. So that's the village, and then our background there is the. Let's see. Our background there, can we show? Yeah, our background there is the map of the area, the village of Zoc, and it's a classic hex map. That hex to the northeast, that is the one that had the ruins that you recently looted. And you've been to the other hexes, to the far northeast, the Rocky Hills, and then up into the hills. The mountains. The mountainous one is where you encountered the wolves by the stream.
We had been trying to navigate towards a cave we had heard of in the mountains, that direction.
That's right. That's right.
And
Now,
we found this wonderful monument to explore.
So Aiden, the furrier, has now tamed that wolf that your father captured. So you can now take him with you, and he basically will act like a warhound. A not terribly reliable warhound, because he is still a wolf. He's been tamed rather than domesticated.
So
But,
I have a tamed wolf.
Yeah.
How many hit points does he have?
13.
More than you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I wouldn't know any of that stuff, right?
Wouldn't know what?
Like his bite attack or any of that stuff.
Oh, well, I mean, that's, you can sort of surmise it from knowing what wolves do. But yeah, you can.
Mighty and vicious.
Okay.
Anyway,
No, what
you
I'm
can
saying
write
is,
it down if you want.
am I gonna roll for the wolf attack?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless he attacks you, but otherwise, yeah, you will roll for his wolf attack. It's just like, consider him your your animal intelligence henchman, basically.
And a
So
mascot.
not a familiar, but animal intelligence. Yeah.
I've asked you guys a little bit about my father. You kind of gave me background on it, and I'd like to kind of finish up his work in honor of him.
He owes me 10 gold pieces, by the way.
Well, he's passed on, and you should have got it from him. before he died. Dad and I had an issue when it came to money. Let's just say we didn't see eye to eye.
Robert keeps hearing tamed dwarf.
We're true thieves.
Everybody
Gotta
knows
beat them.
dwarves can't be tamed.
Well, in D&D, technically, everyone can be tamed. Subdual. You just do subdual damage.
Just beat them with the flat of a sword till they start doing what you tell them to. That's how my granny brought me up.
That'll learn them.
Yeah.
Funny.
Which is pretty brutal if you think about it. But anyway.
Well, before we get started, I wanted to walk over to the temple and, under the watchful eye of the old woman, try on that red robe. I know I'm timid.
I was tempted to say, "Oh yeah, I remember that," but I wasn't there. That was the other me.
Well, they all tell you stories, and the men-at-arms will tell you stories too. Tell you what was going on. That's not staves and wands. Where are we?
And there was that time he jumped off the raft on the way to Zoc and
Yes.
didn't realize the water wasn't that deep. Remember how his head stuck into the mud bank under the 6 inches of water and his feet were sticking out?
Yes. What is our hex drawing program of choice? Kyle Sean Hall asks. He used to use Campaign Cartographer, and we use what is it? HexTML is the website.
That's right. I'll paste the link. It'll come through as Bill's name, but that's me. So, yeah, you with that, it doesn't do random generation for you, but you can fill it in yourself, and you can annotate. It's got a useful little thing of having players' notes and secret notes that just the DM will have. So if you subscribe, you can share with players and they'll just see the notes and blah blah blah, but you don't have to do that if you just want to use it as I'm using it now. I just took a screenshot of it and made that a background. That was the easiest way to show the players, and if the players wish to take any notes, they can do so manually themselves. But yeah, I've got the thing open in a separate browser window that I'm looking at, so I remember who and what everything is, so I can tell you what's in the far north.
I do have one question.
Yep.
So I've got leather armor, and before leather armor, my AC is a 7. Would that drop me down to a 6?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay,
hang on. What's your dex bonus?
Dex
Right.
is it's
17
the 17,
plus.
and I think it's a.
So that's -3. So you just look at the AC of leather, which is normally, what is it, Bill, 7 or something?
8.
Leather is 8.
8.
Yeah, leather and
Yeah,
shield is 7.
So your AC will now be 5.
Sweet. I've picked all this stuff. I just have to kind of write it down. I didn't get a chance to put it on a sheet. I'll do that later, but I've got it.
Now, Bill, what's the normal AC of scale? It's 5, isn't it?
Scale is 5.
Yeah. So your armor class will be 3.
With shield 2.
You've got scale plus 2. So.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be armor class 2 when you're using your shield.
And looking oh so spiffy.
And of course, your armor doesn't encumber you because it's a magical. Alrighty. Okay. So, sure enough, your robe, you put it on and you wear it for a bit under the supervision of the clerics. Okay, this is a robe of blending. This ordinary appearing robe cannot be detected by magical means. When it is put on, however, the wearer will detect a duoma and know that the garment has very special properties. A robe of blending enables its wearer to appear to be part of a rock wall, a plant, a creature of another sort, whatever is appropriate. The coloration, form, and even odor are produced by the robe, although it will not make its wearer appear to be more than twice or 1/2 normal height, and it does not empower language or noise capabilities, either understanding or imitating. Creatures with exceptional or better intelligence have a 1% intelligence point chance of detecting something amiss when they are within 3 inches of a robe of blending, and these creatures with low intelligence likewise notice something unusual. Okay. Yeah, so basically you've got the predator cloaking device.
So you said
That's-
it's specifically for clerics?
No, it's not specifically for anyone. It's a robe of
Oh,
blending.
okay. Okay.
It was just he just went to the temple to do it under the supervision of the cleric. I think he was hoping that if it was cursed or something, they could immediately remove it from him.
Does this robe make me look fat?
If you want it to make you look fat, it can.
Okay.
The robe of
Perfect.
blending.
That's pH fat.
Okay, now the robe of blending. Where are we? Robe of blending. If you decide to keep it, it will grant you 3,500 experience points.
Good God.
Whoever keeps it.
I have
If you
nothing.
decide to sell it, if you can get that price, it retails for 35,000 gold.
Oh, geez.
The whole party could level up with 35,000 gold. Now, if you get but if you sell it for the gold, you don't get experience points for the gold. You get either the experience points or the gold.
We haven't even leveled
So-
up yet.
But I'm just saying it would provide the funds to do so.
Yeah.
Than the funds to do so. Now, so do you wish to assign it to a party member? It would be very useful for a thief.
I completely agree. Especially when
Or
one
do you-
one hit point.
Do you want to go and sell it somewhere?
We could always sell it at a later date, couldn't we?
Yes, but then
Okay.
Then it's not officially assigned, so it just sort of sits in a limbo whether it's neither worth XP. It's a Schrodinger's robe,
Yeah.
which is appropriate for a robe of blending. But yeah,
Hey Finn, I've got this great robe that might look good on you.
I'm like, yeah, sure. What the? So I guess I put it on, and I guess it seems to fit.
And I explained to
Yeah.
him the arcane properties of this wonderful robe due to my wonderful knowledge and liking to hear myself speak and considering myself more intelligent than Finn.
so yeah, what are you planning to do with the robe?
Well, look, we gotta. I'm tired of getting beat up and knocked down. I'll learn how to do better fighting, and that costs money. The robe makes you invisible, but if you're you get so much as mosquito bit, you're gonna die. It doesn't matter whether or not anybody can see you.
Yeah,
That's
Robin
true.
asked
but-
where they're gonna sell it in this little town. You wouldn't be able to sell it in Zoc. However, there is a county capital where they would have a good chance of selling it, and they could return there. That's where they'd have to go to level up anyway, unless they wish to be self-taught. But then that takes twice as long and costs twice as much. But if they had 35,000 gold, they could afford that too. So-
We need all the tools we can to stay alive out here, I believe, at the moment. But
I agree.
All right. So who's going to get it then?
I strike them both with the flat of my sword and take it. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm like,
It's just some dual
Nice.
damage. Hold still. Whap, 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 whap.
I'm like, I think I am. I say that questioning, but kind of not really sure.
Looks good on you, Finn. I can't even see you.
You know what? This is really helping me deal with my father's death, although we weren't really close. We were close enough that this robe is helping me get over the tears.
I think I got all the poison off of it when I took it from your father's dead body.
That
be
would
careful.
be tragic if the same poison killed.
That would be apropos.
Don't lick it, okay? Whatever you do, don't lick the robe.
Dad was a known licker.
Hey, he's not the boss of you. You can do what you want with it.
All right, Vinny. So you put it on. It's officially assigned to you. Very useful
Okay.
for a thief.
And what type of robe? What's the name of the robe again?
Robe of blending.
And that's pretty much like
It's
invisibility.
pretty much a predator robe.
Camouflage.
Yeah.
Do I know what? I guess I wouldn't know how well it hides me because it's the same thing as hiding in shadows. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's better than hiding in shadows. Yeah.
But I wouldn't have
you
any
won't know at
clue.
the time.
I wouldn't have a clue as to how well I'm hiding or any of that good stuff.
Has anyone seen
Well, you-
Finn? Where did he go?
You know that it's
I'm
more
right
effective
here.
than hide in shadows.
I put it
You
on.
know
and it
that
was-
it's more effective than hide in shadows because it's certain unless it's really intelligent. So
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I give you my gratitude, and I help to hopefully succeed where my father had failed. Like
I
he
mean,
failed
in
real life.
effect, it's like invisibility, except with invisibility, you can walk right in the middle of a corridor or in a room; they won't see you. But with this,
Yeah.
you kind of have to be against a wall because if they're more intelligent, they might go, "Hang on, that sort of shimmered a little bit," you know.
Yeah.
They pull a Billy. There's something out there in those trees.
And it ain't no man.
I liked your description of the predator cloaking device. That's very apt, I think.
And well, especially it ain't no man because like he's 6'8". If there's this 6'8" blur,
Yeah.
I didn't realize the size and height because I looked at the stats, and the last thing I looked at were the size, the height, and the hit point, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
So what's
I
your
knew there had to be a trade off.
Vinny? What's your charisma?
Actually, my charisma's a 13.
Oh darn, we can't do the "you are one ugly motherfucker."
I'm the talker of the family. My father was just terrible at it, so they always
Come
kind
on.
of put me out. If
Don't
we had to go
bullshit
to
me.
if we had to go door to door, I was the one that was always put up to
well,
that.
Bill, unless you view charisma as presence, you know, it's like as the book notes, you know, nobody would say that guys like Corporal Schickelgruber and Rasputin were handsome, but they had a certain presence that made people take notice of them.
They did.
Would you say that the Predator has a certain presence that makes people take notice of them?
Unquestionably. That is why in Hero System, not to get too far sidetracked more than we already are, Hero System has presence as a stat and comeliness as a stat. You can be very low comeliness and an insanely high presence, which is what the Predator would be. But in AD&D, they're all just kind of squished down together.
Yeah. All right. So Vinny is ready to level up.
Oh,
Because he gets
really?
3,500 XP, and it only takes
More than one hit point. Oh, shut up and take it.
it only takes 1,250 XP for a thief to achieve second level or be eligible for second level. He's been in so briefly that I can't even assess him on how well he's played a thief.
So the irony is I've done such a good job, but because I haven't done anything, we can't have nothing that says. My whole character is a paradox.
All right, so
your character's XP is superpositioned. You both have a bunch and don't have a bunch.
I'm a thief that's huge.
yeah, well,
And
you know, if it
lanky.
were that kind of game, you would actually have enough XP to achieve third level. But no, you reach the cap, and then that's it until you can't get any more XP.
That's fine.
You can, however, get loot to pay to actually level up.
I guess because I have the robe, I'm just gonna everything I get, I'm gonna have to hand to everybody else till I pay this thing off.
Well, hopefully, the possession of the robe will help you achieve the fat loot.
39.99% APR financing on this thing.
Rest assured, I'll pull it off your dead body if it happens.
I'll die before it's paid off.
Alrighty,
Alright.
so where are you guys going to go next to seek out loot? Do you want to hear the rumors again? The rumors of this and
Yeah,
that?
I'm good with that.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
village ones. All right, let's have a look.
We'd heard of caves in the mountains to the east. There was shrines, ruins.
So the barber Citric is an old veteran of the third, with a bad limp, bad back, and one hunched shoulder. He's a widower, and his son is the copyist Harold, who works in the village hall. He also has 3 daughters, all of whom are married and living in the south. His final injury, the dislocated shoulder, came when he was hunting goats to the south and was grabbed and then dropped by a hippogriff. You have with you Skirfer, the smith's son. He's one of your men-at-arms. And you also have the innkeeper's drunken husband, Peter, is one of your men-at-arms. Carpenter Woolthier once saw bugbears in the boggy ground to the northeast coming from further afield. You met some of those bugbears in your first session. You met 9 of them and killed them. You've got a bugbear head in the tavern, I think.
Yes.
Chandler Tatwine was once went elk hunting to the northeast to try to get some prestige. You guys saw some elk too. And he was clubbed by a hill giant who left him for dead. He woke a day later with a horrible headache and has barely left the village palisade since. You tried to comfort him that when you killed an elk, you dumped some elk meat on his doorstep. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Mason Uhtred came here in the hopes of having work building castle and temple walls, but there has not been the manpower or demand, and so he's only built some foundations for the temple, village hall, and the occasional wall. There is a good spot for a quarry among the rocky, broken lands 2 miles to the southeast, but nobody wants to go there for rumours of terrible monsters. Yeah, and that's about it.
What are y'all thinking of taking down that hill giant?
I'm down with it. What have I got to
Listen.
lose?
I'm like looking 3 feet to the left of where Finnegan is standing. You can sneak up on them and tell if there's any more of them that are in there when we find out with a cave he's at, and then we can go in there and hack him to pieces. And giants that got loot.
I'm good with that.
All right. Well, let's get some rations and tell the boys that we're gonna go cut up a giant and get loot.
Hill giant.
Yeah.
Those
Hill
can be
giant.
rough. All right.
Yeah, but see, they tire out after they kill 4 or 5 men at arms. So by the time we get to him, he'll be plumb wore out. Yeah.
Let's make sure to carry lots of ale so that our minions can take on this hill giant.
All right.
Provisions.
All right, so you gear up and you head to the northeast, I assume.
That's the plan.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm with you, fellas.
Yeah.
Okay, you head into the hex to the northeast, which is where you guys had cleared out that tomb or two. Make a wandering monster check. Roll 2d6 and tell me what you get.
All right. I got it. A 4.
Okay, so there's no
And
wandering monster.
A 4 and a 4.
Yeah, 4 and a 4. Okay, no wandering monsters.
Woohoo!
Okay, so from there, where do you head?
Hill giants tend to live in the hills. 16
That's
hills over there.
brilliant. Let's go to the hills.
Let's go that way.
Okay,
Run
so you head
through the
further
hills.
northeast.
Hey, who sings that song?
Iron Maiden.
Well, let's let Iron Maiden sing it. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Are you all right? Your men at arms are with you, of course, and 4 of them are clad in wolf skins as well.
Can any of them sing?
Yeah, Peter sings when he has a drink in him, which is almost always. So, okay, so you head further northeast, then I take it into that
Yes.
hill. Okay, roll for wandering monsters again.
Anybody else want to do it?
I got it. 2 and a 3.
No wandering monsters bother you.
Does a smell test. We are in a new hex that we've not been in before. So
That's
many
correct. You haven't been in here before.
things.
So you're in there amongst the hills.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And they're fairly dramatic hills in that, like, it's not just a gentle slope, but it's it's pretty ragged stuff.
It's like
Badlands-ish.
Well, there are genuine badlands around here, like rocky badlands, but yeah, these are relatively rockier hills. It's not the gentle Yorkshire moors. It's more like Scotland or something.
It's like the Eamon Mule from between Rohan and Mordor.
Yeah, in Australia they'd be called mountains.
Right.
Yeah. So in other words, visibility isn't great. You can only see a few hundred yards around at most. You could go to a higher one to get a better view or something, but yeah, visibility isn't great. What's the weather? Let's see. Roll a d6 for the weather.
Let's see. I can do that. Wait, hold on. I hit it 3 times. Good gosh. Try that one more time.
Used up all your good luck.
Yeah. There we go. All right, now. 1.
1. Okay, it's raining. And there's a heavy wind blowing the rain at about a 45-degree angle into you. So you're having to go along, pull your cowls down and all the rest.
I'm walking on the lee side of Finnegan.
Yeah, so your visibility is not terribly great.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Okay, roll 2d6 again.
Why don't you roll that, Kenneth?
2d6.
2d6.
Okay. 8.
8.
4 and a 4.
Okay. Up ahead, you hear the sounds of battle and kind of screaming and grunting. You hear the clash of metal and the thud of flesh.
Oh,
It's
hey,
over a sort of a rocky ridge.
Finnegan, put your cloak on and go see what that is.
So I do just that.
Okay. And the rest of you just like huddle among the rocks in the rain, or what?
I'll move close to him, but I'm not going up to the ridge line with him. I will stay close enough that I can see approximately where I think he's going to be at to observe the space in front of us. But I'm going to wait till I think he's gone maybe 40 feet before I start advancing.
Right. Okay, Vinny, so you go up over the ridge line.
Uh-huh.
And you see a couple of hill giants fighting a bunch of bugbears.
Ooh.
Oh, smack. So how far am I from everybody, roughly?
Oh, you'd be about 100 yards. The bugbears and the hill giants, there's no way they're going to notice you. So they're, about 100 yards away from you, and it's bucketing down, raining.
And how many of those
there's claps of thunder?
How many hill giants do I see battling bugbears again?
You see 2. There's one fallen hill giant and several fallen bugbears.
Okay, so one hill giant is alive, and
no, there's two alive hill giants. There's at least one lying on the ground. You don't know if he's dead or not, but he's not doing anything. And it's hard to tell in this weather because there's just flashes of lightning and there's a grey sky. The visibility is poor, but there's at least a dozen bugbears.
Okay, so I make out a dozen bugbears. So I make my way back and I communicate that to everybody else. And I say there's 2 hill giants, one's up, one's down. Don't know if he's dead yet, injured, and there's about a dozen bugbears fighting down there.
Oh, this is great. We just let them kill each other, and then we go down there and we take their treasure. And if any of them still alive, they'll be so cut up and broken up we can just finish them off.
And it's still the rain, right?
Yep, it's still bucketing down, raining. Claps of thunder, grey skies, the wind blowing the rain into your face.
Well, they won't hear us while we're moving around if we need to move around.
No.
Yeah. Is there like a lee of a boulder we could get in so we're at least not?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, everybody over here.
What do you see?
All right. So, Vinny, do you go back and have a look to?
Yes, I do.
All right. Yeah, they're tearing into each other, and there's bugbears falling over. The hill giants are picking up large rocks and hurling them at the bugbears. Occasionally, a bugbear falls, and he picks up a bugbear and hurls it at the other bugbears. Alrighty. And Bill and Vinny, roll a d20 each. You're going to determine how the fight is going overall without the trouble of my doing lots of rolls.
All right, here we go. A 10. Exactly average.
Yep, so that's what
And
the bugbears get. An 8. Oh, the bugbears are winning at this stage. Overwhelming by sheer force of numbers.
All right. Shall we do it again?
Yeah.
A mighty 12. Vinny?
All right. A 15.
Go Bears.
Oh, Bill. The
The
Bears
Bears.
and the Giants are playing in Boulder. Sorry, what were those two rolls then?
I got a 12. Vinny got a 15.
15. So it turns again in favor of the Hill Giants, who are getting bashed up. But half of the bugbears have fallen. Battle goes on. You're still leaving them to it?
Yep.
Yep.
I'm gonna start passing out ale to our henchmen.
I got a 10 again.
We're like gambling.
I'm kind of hoping that the bugbears lose one more round, but then they win all successive rounds. Like if we could just go in and kill 3 bugbears, that would be hilarious.
I got a 12.
All right. So another couple of bugbears fall, and the remaining 6 bugbears. Roll for their morale. 36 for the bugbear morale.
All right. A 5. I'm guessing they are breaking and running.
Yeah, they break and run. And the bugbears the hill giants just chuck a couple of desultory rocks after them, and then leave them to it. The 2 hill giants go and tend to one of their fallen mate. One of them pours a bottle of something into the fallen one's mouth, and he kind of coughs and splutters and gets up and wipes his face and looks around at the fallen bugbears, and they start collecting the bugbear bodies, putting them under their arms and slinging them over their shoulders.
They're going to take them back to their cave.
And they're heading off to the northeast.
I become one with the rock.
Well, if the bugbears spot us, that's going to happen anyway. Or if the giants spot us, that's going to happen anyway. Oh well, why don't we follow them like at a respectable distance, and then we can, I don't know, we can ambush them in their cave or something. They'll never expect it.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Then be careful.
Yeah.
Listen, I got a plan. I'm kind of smart. Yeah.
We just saw them kill how many bugbears? We're not nearly the strength of a bugbear, just saying. And there's a lot less of us.
Let's just follow them. Let's just follow them, find out where they're going.
All right. So how far do they go, Kyle? How long do we march?
Okay, so you follow them along in a bucketing down rain for a time. There's a small chance that they'll notice you because it's bucketing down raining. There's thunderclaps and all the rest. So if you're reasonable about the distance that you keep, they probably won't notice you. But, you know, there's always a chance of a bit of bad
We'd
luck.
let Finn be close and hang back as much as we can.
Yeah.
They
Okay,
are hill
so
giants after all.
roll, let's say roll 2d12 and don't get snake eyes.
All right. So 2d12. Wait.
Well, there are 2d12 in there, and neither is a 1, Kyle. So
Okay.
Well done.
Good. So they don't notice you. You follow them along, and then they disappear into a crack in the rock. They have to kind of slide in and then pick up the deceased bugbears and toss them in. Yeah. And then they disappear into that crack in the rock.
So how
Thunder thunder
injured.
shakes the land.
Did
How
the
injured
one,
what?
the one hill giant look? I mean, he's looking just
Yeah,
worse
he
for
looked
the
pretty
wear.
bashed up. Yeah, he looked pretty bashed up, but he looked quite revived after the drink that they gave him.
Yeah, so listen, this is what I'm thinking. We get us a rope and we tie it near the ground in front of their cave. Somebody goes up there and makes a hell of a lot of noise, and I don't know what would piss a hill giant off, but we say that, and when they come out to check it, they'll trip over that rope, and we can kill them, and then we can do that to the next one that comes out.
I actually like that idea.
I'm
It
going to
is.
stand way far back and just watch this happen.
I've got 1 hit point. What could possibly go wrong?
Only one thing. Only one thing can possibly go wrong.
It is dark and rainy. We do have the element of a little bit of
All right.
surprise.
I pat Finn again on his shoulder. Go up there, go as quiet as you can, and see if you can find a good place to tie this rope off, maybe a foot or 2 off the ground. We'll wait for it to get a little darker, and then we'll make a hell of a lot of noise.
So I go to do that.
Wait, Finn, make sure
Uh-huh.
there's only the 2 hill giants that we saw, and no more in that cave if you can. Don't get in danger. Don't get caught.
A tribe
See if
of
you can recon a
30
little
to
bit.
300 hill giants.
Yeah.
Bad
we found-
news, guys. There's 30 of them.
we found the back entrance to the steading of the hill giant chief.
I'm going to be like Han Solo in Return of the Jedi when
Ogres and giants just pouring out.
Now, I'm not saying you have to sex them and figure out if it's a man and a woman and it's a whole family. But, if we know that one's a female and one's a guy, it might help.
I don't know what you had in mind. I just wanted to kill them and take their treasure.
Well, we might put Finn in a fancy dress and distract them.
play some really cheesy 70s music.
Yeah.
Or they're from the
Anyway.
Blue, what was it, the Blue Oyster Bar?
I'm slowly backing away as they're talking.
I am too. I'm just tie the damn rope off.
Yeah.
Don't get caught. Find out what we're getting into, Finn. Just carefully find
Okay.
out.
All right.
All right. It is so making traps is equivalent to finding and removing them, but it's a very simple trap. So the question is not whether or not you can make the trap, but how long it takes you to do it and how well you do it. So make a roll for that.
And what do
D100. And what's your find remove traps? Look that up
100.
skill. Look up that find remove trap skill and make a roll.
That would be a 38.
It's just not tying a rope. I mean, come on.
Yeah. But he might go, I'll just tie it
I know.
at
Forgive me.
my waist height. That'll be, and then it makes it really obvious or something.
Yep.
Or he might be fumbling, because it's bucketing down raining. So, where is he going to tie it? Does it slip off?
So what's
Does
the
he
skill I'm looking
curse
for?
loudly? Or does he curse loudly while he's fumbling with it and draw their attention? That sort of
What's the skill I'm looking for?
You're looking for fart.
traps?
Find and remove traps.
Oh, it's 20%.
Yeah.
So I failed miserably.
No, like I said, there's no question that you could do it. The question is how long and how it takes you.
How long, yeah.
And how well
okay.
you do it. So it takes
You've
you a
never
while.
tied your shoes before, much less set a trap. So
Afraid if I bent over, I might pass out.
All right, so you set up the rope. It takes you a long time because it's bucketing down raining, and first you try to tie it to this rock, and then it slips off that rock, and then you tie it to another rock, and then that rock breaks off from the wall and everything, and then you're standing there for a moment, completely silent, worrying about it. Oh, did they hear? Did they hear? Do I hear them coming in? Was that thunder, or was that a hill giant throwing a rock at me? Hang on, wait. So it takes you ages, but you do it. You've
Sweet.
tied a rope, and of course it has to be tied tightly enough that the hill giant doesn't just sweep it aside, but actually trips over it. So that's the tricky part. All right. So yeah, you tie it, and you think they'll probably fall over it if they don't see it. Okay, now what?
They haven't come back yet, have they?
Yeah, they've come back. You followed them.
Yeah, we followed them to the cave. They're inside.
Yeah, that's how
Okay.
you know which cave it is. Otherwise, there's no way you would have seen it in this weather.
All
Because
right.
it's a crack in the rock. It's a large crack. It has to be for hill giants to go in. But as I
Right.
said, they had to actually drop their bugbears and just chuck them in or drag them in. They couldn't carry them in their arms. It was too narrow. It's like trying to move a couch to the doorway. You know, it's except it's a bugbear.
I go back to
Pivot.
deliberate with the group.
Pivot.
Yeah.
How many did you see, Flynn?
How many of it was it I saw?
3.
Three.
3 of them.
3. Was the third one bigger, smaller? Could you tell anything?
About the same.
About the same size, same height. They look like they may have been the same family.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see. How about listen, he still can't see you. We'll come up just out of sight of the cave, make a hell of a lot of noise. When the giant that comes out trips over, because he can't see you, you just start stabbing him in the kidneys. You just shank him. Stab, 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 stab. And we'll jump on him and start smacking on his head. He'll be dead before his friend can get outside. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
It means use your thief backstab skill.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. On the
So-
backstab, it's just the one dagger, right?
I believe you can backstab with any weapon that a thief can use.
Yeah, you could backstab him with a longsword.
Yeah, what kind of weapon do you
Let
have?
me look.
I'm thinking we ought to go chase the
I've got a
bugbears
short
down.
sword and I've got a dagger, so I'm going to use a short sword.
I'm going to point something out here. We got plans for the first one, but what happens when the second and the third one come?
They'll trip over that one's body, and we do the same thing.
No, I'm with you, Shandara. I'm thinking we ought to go track down the bugbears and find out where their lair is too. Maybe they'll be an easier kill.
Well, we're already
Somebody had asked.
here.
Somebody had asked if Vinny had bought himself a bandolier of flasks of oil. Fair question.
Yes, actually, my family, my family are known. What the hell do they call it?
Pyromaniacs.
Yeah, pyromaniacs.
I
Starting
think
fire.
every PC is. Every PC is. If there's a chance to set something on fire or blow it up, they seize that opportunity. That's why
I got
so
a
many
question.
players of D&D over the years have tried to invent firearms.
I got a question.
They're not really that interested in any extra damage. It's just the prospect of blowing things up.
Is one of the hill giants down? Did they trip over it?
No, they
one of
poured a potion down his throat. He jumped up. They all went into this cave.
Okay, but they didn't come out after I set the trap.
No, not yet.
No.
That's the noise making part is what that is.
Well, I got an idea.
They're inside, sheltering from the rain, and presumably eating dead bugbear.
As
Right.
one does.
I have an idea. I don't know if it's a good idea, but I'm going to pass it off to you guys. If I've got 10 flasks of oil If one falls to the ground and I douse it, could we set one on fire?
Not in this rain.
Not in this.
No, not in the
man.
rain.
Okay.
You
Well,
could
there
pour
goes that
oil in
idea.
the entrance of the cave, though, that doesn't have as much rain. But you'd have to
Right.
light it up, and it'd be
Yeah, and it would be hard.
You would
'cause it
actually
would-
have to make a roll to light it up because you would be outside trying to light
Yeah.
a torch in the rain. If
All
you're
right, so-
inside, you can light a torch automatically, but then you have to go inside where the hill giants are. And
So
they might interfere with your fire starting.
yeah, that would be bad. All right, so let's scratch that idea.
Or we could wait for them to fall asleep after they gorge themselves.
Now, wait a minute. What you said about them falling asleep, that's a good idea. I don't know how long it takes them to fall asleep. Finn, we wait out here a little bit longer. Finn, you go in, you see them when they're asleep, you poke one of them, and then they run out and trip, and then we kill them.
Or maybe you pour oil over all of them while they're
Yeah.
sleeping and
Yeah.
start the party that way.
But we
I'll
should
do-
still have the rope just to cover us, when we come running back out. Slow them down a little bit at least. Yeah.
Yeah, leave the rope. It's fine.
So how tall is the entrance of the cave?
About 10 feet tall.
Is it dark?
Yeah. Well, it's dark where you are.
And how far am I from the cave entrance?
As far as you want to be. Nobody's stopping you.
I want to slowly walk up to it and see if I hear any noises, specifically snoring.
It'd be very hard to hear over the
Over the
Very
rain.
hard to hear over the rain. Yeah.
Would I have to enter the cave? Or would it still be enough of a patter that would be difficult?
You don't know. It depends how loudly the hill giants snore.
So let me do this. Let me walk up to the side of the cave slowly and then start to kind of peer my head into the cave to see if I hear anything.
Yeah, well, you're wearing your cloak, so as you need your move silently. Your cloak doesn't stop anyone from hearing you, just from seeing people.
Correct. Yeah, I want to move
So
silently.
you still need to move. So make a move silently roll. You'll know if you move silently or not.
All right. Hold on. That's an 18.
Okay, cool. So the roll of 1d6.
5.
5. Okay, so you creep in and you see 3 hill giants sprawled around a fire, and there's a pile of dead bugbears off to one side, and there's a bugbear on a spit over the fire with chunks carved off him, and there's the gear of the various bugbears that's been tossed aside, and a little pile of coins next to the fire, and the hill giants are sprawled around the fire, lying back, holding their bellies and snoring their heads off. One of them looks very bashed up. The other 2 are somewhat bashed up.
Mm-hmm.
They're snoring very loudly. You suspect they probably have quite strong problems with sleep apnea, being 1,000 pounds and all that.
Huh. So all right. So here's what I want to do. I want to.
And you peer off as you peer around the room, this cave area. You see, like it seems to be just a single cave. There don't seem to be any other entrances and exits apart from what you've got here. And then off on the other side of the cave behind is a big sack open up, and in that sack you see gold and gems.
How far from where I'm at are they?
They're about 20 feet. And the other side of the cave is another 40 feet. So the treasure's about 60 feet from them.
And they're snoring pretty loudly. All right, let me sneak
fast
back.
asleep.
I want to sneak back and let the group know. Part of me is tempted, and this is the foolish part, and I know it probably wouldn't end well. So I really need to kind of get the group involvement on this.
Is there water in here?
What is it you want to know?
So I asked, do I need to move silently to get back to the group?
Mhm.
No. You're going through the storm. Nobody will
Okay.
hear you.
So I go back to the group and I let them know what I see. So I basically say, okay, so there are about 20 feet into the cave. There are 3 hill giants out like a light, snoring loudly. The remains of the bugbears that they've killed are splattered around. There's sacks of gold and treasure. I've got 10 flasks of oil inside the cave. We could try to light them on fire. I could try to backstab one. How do you guys want to approach this?
You could sneak up to one of the sleeping hill giants and pull a nose hair and hide, and he'll slap the one next to him thinking he did it. And it'll kill the guy he hits. Start a melee among the giants. I don't know.
That's so dumb. I thought I said it, but I like it. It's funny. Yeah.
So I look at the group and I'm like, I can attempt to backstab one, but if I do that, it's going to wake the other 2 up. And although I'm well covered, once they're awake, pretty much all bets are off.
You think you can pour oil under where they're on the ground where they're sleeping before you backstab one of them?
I was actually thinking that because it would be nice to be able to light them on fire. What I would like to do would be to light.
Peter looks up from the ale that he's drinking and he says, "You could just steal the treasure."
Yeah. I like that. Yeah. Why don't you go in there and start stealing their treasure? Just bring their treasure out.
Yeah, I didn't ask. How big was the bag? Was it human sized or is it
Oh, it's a big sack of
Santa
treasure.
Claus sized?
So
It's a
I'll
big
put it
sack
like
of treasure.
this.
You don't know how much it weighs, but it looks heavy.
It looks like it would take more than just me doing that. If I took it, it would have to be in small increments, would be my guess. I could put some in a bag, but being
You
that
need
it's-
Dougal with his 17 strength.
Yeah.
yeah, with my massive 9 arms, my 9-inch pythons, not
Well,
going to go very
9, you could put 90 pounds overhead.
That's
Oh, and if
900
you could-
coins.
If you could put 90 pounds overhead, you can certainly carry twice that amount. That's 180 pounds.
All right, so yeah, let me do that. Let me try to go in and steal some coin.
1,800 gold
It
pieces.
is noisy outside. It's raining and thundering, so we've
That's
got little
a
bit
good
of cover.
idea. Yeah, I want to. You know what? I'm a thief. If I don't take advantage of my thieving abilities, then
Yeah.
what kind of thief
Now-
am I?
So there's the party goals, which are entirely up to you. But remember, what Pfaffenberg wants is that the area is cleared of monsters.
Yeah.
So that's why you get XP from killing monsters, because he wants the area cleared of monsters. Now, your personal goals might involve killing the monsters, or they might not. They might involve just getting the treasure, or they might not. Your personal goals are up to you. But that's what you've been sent here to do, and that's supposed to be the basis
I want to live
which
a
you
bit
get to
longer.
keep half of your treasure. It takes a little bit longer. Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just reminding you of the what you've been sent here to do. Whether you do that is entirely up to you. But that's what you've been given, the job that you've been given to do.
No, I mean, no one said we had to go back to town right away.
But you don't get experience points for the treasure until you've transported it to a place of safety, i.e. the village of Zoc. You've still got the treasure, but you don't have the XP for it. Because after all, you might not keep it.
Yeah.
Someone might interfere with you on the way. Because
So-
there's wandering monsters on the way back too.
I can go in there and douse the oil on the hill giants, but I'm going to need some help lighting them on fire.
Well, there's a fire right next to them. They're sleeping by fire. You could just, pull a stick out of the fire.
Or I could throw the flask of oil into the fire. Now I know what I can. No. I know what I want to do. I know what I wanted to do. This is terrible.
Go do it.
All right. So here's what I want to do. I want to go in, and
All
I
right,
want
so
to.
you're going. No, just tell me what you're doing.
Okay.
Don't
so
tell me
I
what you want to do. Tell me what you're doing.
I'm going to go in,
Yep.
and I'm going to attempt to take oil out and pour the oil under the hill giant. How much does one flask of oil cover?
Well, it's about a pint. So
All right, so I'm going to take 2 pints per each hill giant under them under them. And then I want to take a flask of oil from a safe distance and throw it into the fire.
I got to say, even out of character, I love this plan. I'm glad to be a part of it.
I even better. So 2 flasks of oil for each hill giant.
well, you've got
6.
10, and there's 3 hill giants. Yeah.
And I want to throw one by one, throw the oil into the fire one by one. And so it'd be 4 pints after the oil is under the hill giants. Then I throw a pint of oil into the fire, and then throw the second into the fire, the third into the fire, and then the fourth into the fire.
Are you hoping to catch the hill giants on fire from?
I'm hoping to have a barbecue.
Like fire the flaming oil.
Yeah.
So if it lights up around your feet or on you, you take 2d6 damage in the first round, and then 1d6 in the.
But I could
round.
do this at a
And then
safe
it goes out.
distance.
But if there's multiple flasks of oil, then you take multiples of that damage.
So let me ask you this: at what
So
distance?
if somebody douses you in 10 flasks of oil and lights you up, you take 20d6 and then 10d6.
Right.
I like it.
So what at what safe distance could I do this without the flame coming back at me?
Oh, you'll feel the warmth on your face from 20 feet away, but it won't burn you unless you fumble it and
Okay,
chuck
yeah,
it at
so
your
I'm
own
gonna-
feet.
I'm
Because
gonna-
remember, there's the random throws.
Perfect. So
What's
I'm
that,
gonna
page 88
I'm
or
going
something?
I'm going to sneak into the cave and put the oil, 2 flasks under each of the open up and pour them, one on one side, one on the other, around all 3 of them.
So they're getting
And
two
then-
flasks of oil. Okay, yeah. The grenade light missiles, 64. That's it. All right, so you need a one move silently check, and then I'm going to roll some saving throws for the guy, because you tend to notice if you wake up wet.
All right.
You know, there's, you know,
So
in case they think that they've wet their bed.
the check, is it a D20?
The moving silently is a percentile check.
Okay. I didn't see that.
21. I think he made it.
Yeah, here, mate. Yep. So you move silently. You move like a.
Thank God.
Move silently, and you're not very visibly. Okay, so now roll a saving throw for each of the three. Just don't get 20 on any of them. So 3d20. They'll only save on a 20. Otherwise, because they're snoring away, they're full of food. It's like Thanksgiving dinner, you know. Wouldn't that?
4, 13, and 17.
Except they're about to be full of tryptophan.
All right, so they remain snoozing away while you pour the oil all around them.
Okay, so now I go back to the front of the cave and I go to chuck the first pint of oil into the fire.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
That would be an 11, and my dex +2, so that would be a 13.
Yep. So that goes bang into the middle of the fire, and it lights up and it flares up, and it lights up the oil around the hill giants as well. So the first hill giant will take each of them will take 4d6 damage in the first round. So roll the damage on each. 46.
Nice. 15 on the first one.
Yep.
15.
And then I toss the second oil.
No, you've got to roll for the damage on the other two as well.
Oh, okay.
Because you lit them all up.
Hold on.
All right, so you've poured oil all around the fire, and then you chuck the oil into the fire.
4d6,
and it flares up, and then the fire goes along.
That would be a
wet
9.
ground, the oily ground, and then they light up.
Second one takes 9.
Yep. And then the third one.
Ooh, 15.
15. All right. So we light up, and now they wake up. So it flares up, and there's sudden screams from two of them. There's a brief scream from the one who was already badly wounded. He briefly screams, and then he falls back, just burning. The other two are still on fire. Okay. They will take. You had 2+, so they'll take 2d6 damage in the next round.
Go ahead and roll that now.
Yeah.
Okay. 9. And again for the second.
Yep.
5.
Yeah. All right. So the first one sort of starts getting up, and then he just falls over, dead. So only one of the three is still alive.
Am I able to toss the other flask of oil at him?
Yeah.
5.
5. Yeah. So you miss now.
We've got
So-
we got a function on one of my channels, Kyle, to do the splash if you'd like me to.
That's all right. Roll 1d6 for the distance in feet, and then 1d8 for the damage. Sorry. Yeah, feet will go, and then 1d8 for the direction.
So 1, and you said a 1d8.
Yeah.
So he could definitely take a lot of damage here, potentially. Well, 3, I think max, but
Where the hell is my clear? I don't see a D8 on here.
Third one from the left. Yeah.
Hold on. No, I've got it.
Roll a d10 or something, and
All right.
here, I can roll it for you, Vinny.
Wait, I got a D10. I'll roll it. 2 of them. Jeez.
A 2.
two. All right, so it goes to the right, but it's only 1 foot to the right. So it'll do splash damage on him of 1d6.
Nice. Burn him again. Burn. Burn.
Said 1d6.
Yes.
Oh, that's why I'm missing it. All right, sorry, I had to add them. All right.
That's okay.
6.
6.
6. All
Well
right.
done.
So he gets splashed and flared up, and he falls over dead as well.
Yeah.
So I killed all 3 of them.
Yes, you did.
Oh, holy
Meanwhile, we're sitting out in the rain, waiting for you to come back to us.
crap. Oh,
I look
my
at the
God.
other party members. You think
I'm-
he's dead?
Hold on.
I don't know.
So I'm standing there going, holy crap.
There's
I've
3
got
dead hill
one
giants,
health.
isn't
I'm looking up and I'm like, Father, are you looking over me? I will avenge you.
One of us should go check in on him.
All right, so I go back to the group.
See, I told you it didn't matter having 1 hit point.
There
I
you go.
I go back to the group because I want to let everybody know of the gold so that we can kind of evenly disperse it. And then I'm going to forego my share because I'm wearing the uber expensive and uber helpful robe.
You're back, Finny. Great.
So I'm like, okay, so I've got some incredible news, and you're probably not going to believe me. So you're going to have to follow me. So I then tell them that I've been able to decimate all 3 hill giants with fire damage, explosives.
Your father would have done it with much better style.
Well, he's not here, so this is what we need.
Well done. Well done.
If he would
I
have done a
give-
better job, he'd be here right now.
I give Finn a good, solid, friendly punch in the chest. You did good, kid. Thump.
I'm like, awesome. So I
darn.
tell them, I say,
Wait. Roll for damage, Finn.
I have the
I
cure light
fall
wounds
over-
ready.
I fall into a coma. So I tell them, I'm like, there is a lot of gold there. There's some weapons. I say we go loot the entire place.
Come on, guys. Let's go. Lend us a hand.
All
Get out of the rain.
All right.
There's
All right.
there's fresh bugbear in here if anybody's hungry.
All right, so there's a couple of sacks at the back of the cave, and those sacks have got, as I said, gold and gems in them. They're open and you can see.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I basically am like, I kind of stand back and let everybody take what they're going to take. And if there's anything left over, then I'll take that.
We'll dive in like Scrooge McDuck.
Let's count it up so it's fair. Yeah.
Okay, there is 2,000 gold, and then there's 160 gold in gems.
All right.
And
Are there-
incidentally, the 3 hill giants between them are worth 5,400 experience points.
Oh, snikes.
Damn.
Which disappears into either because Vinny did it, so he gets all the experience points for the hill giants. You guys didn't contribute at all.
Sure.
Oh my
moral
god, the guy with the one.
But Vinny can't get any more experience points anyway because
That's right.
But we're doing our job.
Yeah,
Exactly. So
I'm still writing. You said how much was it? I'm still writing it down. 5,400.
No, that's
well, it
for
doesn't
the
matter. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. You can't get 5,400 experience points anyway
Okay.
because you're tapped out.
That's fine.
So it doesn't matter.
And the legend of Vinny grows.
Vinny, hell, he died. It's the
But-
legend of Aiden.
Aiden,
But
Aiden,
what-
sorry. I'm seeing your name on the screen.
But it was
Alright.
2,160 worth of coin and gems.
Okay. Any foodstuffs? Barrel of beer, leg of
Yes.
mutton.
Weapons.
Well, there's some bugbear if you want to eat that. Aside from that, there's just some bread. Some
How much
very
did you say in
hard
gems?
stale bread. Well,
160.
2,000. Yeah, 2,000 gold and 160 in gems.
Okay.
Good night, Alyssa. I will be in touch.
Woohoo!
Well, I suggest
work
we make camp here or rest here for a bit and
I agree.
dry off on the
Amongst
rain.
the dead and burned
Well, we
bugbears.
can pile them on.
hill
Yeah,
giants.
Yeah.
it's
Well-
it's raining outside. At least till that passes.
If
Such
we
adventurous. It reminds me of that scene in Conan the Barbarian where, like, you know, the witch says there is a price barbarian and they make love, and then while they're doing it, she turns into a demon, and so he flings her into the fire and chases her away. And then you see him there the next morning come out and meet Subutai. So it's like, how? Like, he was in the witch's hut and she turned into a demon and went away in a ball of flame. And he just, well, now I go to sleep.
exactly.
I just sleep there. It's such an adventure.
This is our cave now.
Is it possible if we work together that we could drag the giant corpses outside? Actually,
No, they're like
Yeah,
1,000 pounds.
I figured as much, but I didn't
can't
know if
move
like
them.
maybe as a team, you know, because
No.
there's eight of us with our men at arms.
Yeah, it's
Um,
just not plausible, no.
That's fine. What if we cut them up and haul them out in pieces?
That would do too, but it wouldn't necessarily make the place a more pleasant place to dwell.
Yeah, because then we'd be ankle deep in giant blood. Let's cover them with their hides or whatever they had, and at least get some sleep in on the other side of the cave.
Okay. You do so, yeah, make a wandering monster check for the night.
I'll take the first watch, by the way. Is this 2d6 again, Kyle, or 1?
Yes. 2d6.
Thank you. A 2 and a 4.
No monsters
All right.
come to get you.
Excellent. Hello, Vince Netterton. Good to see you.
All right. So I guess I will take the next one.
That's for the whole night.
Oh,
Don't
that's for
worry
the whole
about
night.
who's and
Okay.
what, but yeah, just the whole night. Okay, and do you then head back to town?
I will remove the giant's ears. Just one each, so we can prove that we've been up here doing Duke Pfaffenberg's good works, and
I'll
You know.
remove the others so it shows that we got both ears.
oh,
Because then it's like, how many giants can walk around earless?
all right. Let's head back to town.
Okay, you head back to town. So you got 2 wandering monster checks, 1 for each hex that you're going through.
Roll those for us, there, Safi.
2d6.
Yep.
1d6. Yeah, 2d.
2d6 twice. Yeah.
Okay, that's a 6 and a 1, so 7.
Yeah. Nothing. 10 or more gets you a wandering monster.
And a 4.
Okay. No wandering monsters. Right. So you get back to the village with your little bag of giant ears, and you think, yeah, there were sundry weapons and stinky armor on the bugbears if you want to slip them, but they won't be worth terribly much compared to all your gold and all the rest. At most, they'd be worth something to the militia, not in coin, but as
That's
in
what I was
having
going to ask.
proper weapons.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's get them out if necessary, if possible.
Yeah.
We can always go back and get the
yeah.
weapons, right?
Yeah.
Well, I assumed you took the weapons anyway. I
Yeah.
assume that when you have
Yeah.
your men at arms, you also have a couple of donkeys and all the rest, so you can just stick the weapons on them. The armor would be no good, but the weapons can be used and passed out.
Was the armor metal?
No.
Okay.
There are the occasional little scraps of metal amongst the
Because
leather.
if it's metal, we
furs
could always
and
take
all
it
the
back
rest.
to the blacksmith and potentially get payment or fashion in something else. But yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So, so you guys didn't get any XP this time.
Clear to hex, maybe.
But you got the treasure, at least, to spread amongst yourselves. Now remember, you're supposed to go 50-50 on the coin and gems with Pfaffenberg.
Right.
That's supposed to be 50-50.
Yep, here you go. Here's your 500 coins and your 20 your 20 gold in gems, Lord Pfaffenberg.
Rightio.
Now, do we have to spend it,
No. You
or
don't
just
have to
bring
spend
it to a safe place to get the XP from it?
Yeah. You've taken it back to the village.
Okay.
Normally, that's all you need to do to get the XP for it. But as I said, it was Vinny who won that treasure, who slew the monsters and won the treasure. So he gets the XP. Or arguably, you could get the XP from the treasure because you were all there to back him up, but not from the monsters.
let me ask you this: I get the XP from the cloak, right?
Yeah. So
Can
you're
I
already
give
topped
them-
out. So you're
But
already
can I
topped
give
out,
them
so-
the treasure so that they can also gain
No, the
XP?
treasure's coin are evenly spread. So magical treasure, the XP goes through whoever's it's assigned to. And in the
Okay.
case of consumables like scrolls and potions, the XP goes when you consume it. And non-magical treasure, like coins and gems, just gets evenly spread amongst the party with a half share for each henchman. Of course, how you spread the actual treasure is up to you, but the XP from the treasure is evenly spread amongst PCs.
Oh, I see. So regardless to whoever you get it to, the person who had it originally ends up with the XP.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
You get the full XP from the treasure, even though you're giving half of it to Pfaffenberg. So that'll be 540 each. So that takes Bob the Fighter up to ready for second level, just like yourself.
So, young Aiden, what this really means is until my math runs out, you're buying us rounds at any tavern we come to.
I have no problem with that because this has worked out far better than I could have imagined. I was thinking like after the first encounter, it'd be toast.
Okay, so XP total so far. So Vinny is at 1250, so he's ready to level up. Shondara is at 1147. She needs 1500 to level up. Lord Corian hasn't been present, so he hasn't earned XP, so he's still sitting at 542 out of the 2000 he needs. Bob the Fighter is at 2000 out of 2000, so he's ready to level up. And Schuant, the magic user, is at 1147 out of 2500.
So, do we roll for hit points now, or is that the next
No.
time?
No, you need to go somewhere and level up. Okay. So now you did a very good thiefly job. So I assess that at an excellent level of performance. So one, you're all doing excellently in performing your roles. So you're all assessed at level 1. So it costs you 1,500 gold, and will take you a week to level up. If you go if you go back to the Pfaffenberg capital. If you choose to stay in the village and just self-train, then instead it will cost you 3,000 gold and take 2 weeks.
Well, we have to have 1,500
each. Yeah.
Yeah, each one that's leveling up. Yeah.
And how much gold do we have from the 2,000?
540 each, I think you said, Kyle.
Well, let's see. You've got so far you have won in various places 2,465. So you should have about 1,200 left.
And that's to split.
That's in gold and gems. Yeah.
That's to split between all of us.
Yeah. But I mean, as I said, how you split the gold and treasure is up to you. But yeah, there's about 1,200. So you don't have enough money to level up.
Okay.
Well, I say we're just going to have to stay here in the village and grind until we can get enough loot to level.
Yeah.
This is unfortunately a common problem, like in early levels. Finding enough treasure to be able to afford to level up. Kyle's a big meanie, says wave of mutilation. No, that's just the way the dice go. If I was a big meanie, then at least one of the hill giants would be awake and you might all be dead.
Yeah, that's what I figured would have happened.
I just let the dice fall where they may. And that's why a first level character has a robe of blending. And another first level character has a long sword +1 and scale mail +2.
Yeah,
but
I figured
but you don't have much coin treasure. It's just the way the dice fell.
I'm perfectly happy with what we got.
I mean, just think of it this way: you don't level up, but I mean, what happens when you level up anyway? You get +1 to hit. Well, Bill's got that because he's got +1 to hit.
Right.
Yep.
So
I'm good with what we got.
And that's it for this week, guys.
All right. Excellent.
Well, this was a lot of fun. I thought I was going to die.
Indeed.
You still might next time.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I'll put it like this. If I last beyond one game, I lasted a lot longer than I thought I would.
All right. Well, that was great fun. Kyle, thank you once again for an excellent job GMing. Maybe next week, author Alyssa Hazel will join us, and hopefully we can get Lord Corion back. That would be awesome too.
Yep, that
would. So thank you everybody out there in TV land for watching us tonight. I really appreciate it. Again, if you haven't, please do click the subscribe button, click the bell icon for notifications. And I will be back tomorrow with some content for you lovely folks to enjoy. And then Friday night, for those of you who do like the continued live plays of classic tabletop RPGs, we'll be back with Gamma World, and everybody will get irradiated, I'm sure. So once again, I appreciate all my friends and allies being at the table tonight. Thank you, Kyle, Viking Hat, GM, TB Flowers as Shona, Vinny Finnegan, and of course Kennick as Shandara. And I will go ahead, and you guys can go on back to the green room, help yourself to the buffet. The craft services people have put out there's some turkey slices, some lovely Gruyere and rye crisps. Enjoy those. But I will catch you all tomorrow night right here, and we'll find something fun to do one way or the other. But listen, let me explain something to you. Us having fun is entirely incumbent on whether or not you survive an encounter with an owl bear. Be good to each other. Peace. Love you all.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around. Some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle way off course? Naked as a toad all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me to the show.